Hello, and this is Ninja DC joining again for not react, but a discussion of Hazbin Hotel Season 2.
Let's
Joining
go!
me again is Gator.
Hello there, this is the Gunmetal Gator here, willing and able to wear a dress on command.
Let's go!
And next up, Jenn.
I may be first, I may be last, I may be a little sleepy tonight, but I am first and always Jenn. Hello, Internet.
Hello.
Hello,
And I am willing to do who knows some things for a Klondike bar.
Combat, you say?
Ooh.
Well, you figured Carl was like, willing to wear a dress on the man. I'm like, oh, let's see how far this goes.
Herm.
Uh-huh.
All right, and then next up, Wolfgang.
Hello, everyone. At the beginning of this, you guys didn't see this, obviously, because, this is only when the recording starts. Before this, I was on my lovely friend Hive Mind's live stream, streaming an event and playing Sky Battle, at the same time as getting a ton of information about my future idol career while talking on a podcast about bad Disney remakes. I am multitasking maxing, and no one can stop me. And also, did you know that Wicked also now has muffins, among probably 20 or 30 more products? Some of the products were even shown during the Thanksgiving parade. And if I start listing them off, we'll be here for the next 20 billion gazillion years. So all I have to say is that the marketing is insane. Anyways, Hazbin Season 3 has gotten me a lot of clout on social media from posting my opinions on it. But really, I'm very interested to see what everyone else has to say and what they're going to think of my semi-controversial or at times pretty controversial opinions on how this season was handled. Take it away, Derek.
All right, and then next up, second.
Hi there, this is the second opinion, and...
Daylover.
Oh, you already did. I was worried there might be sleep.
And from a critic first, and a fan second, and a wife really first, because she is the love of my life.
Okay.
It is the Hazbin discussion.
Oh, excuse me.
I'm joining Jenn with the tired train. I'm so tired.
I'm so tired of being
being
lonely. I've still got some love to give. Won't you show me that you really care? Everybody's got somebody to lean on. Put your body next to mine and dream. I'm sorry, where were we?
Hey!
Doing a review, I guess.
That is exactly what we're doing.
But before we go into discussion, does anyone have any media stuff or something what they've been up to recently? I guess I would just go first for a change of pace and just say, well, over Thanksgiving season, I've seen Zootopia 2 opening day, and I'm thankfully proud that Disney actually released a good animated film again.
I also got a new microphone, which is why I sound different, audience. My last microphone and headphones straight up exploded, and then I started using this for a Minecraft event, and it sounded good. So that's why I'm using a different mic now, because this actually sounds better. It's like $20 mic and like a $20 headphones that we bought for my mom's work 2 days before we moved, and it ended up sounding better than my $200 mic. So that's a disappointment, but at the same time, hey, better mic and headphones.
Yeah, well, I'm still using my Max microphone just because my actually good microphone apparently doesn't work well with Google Meets when I plug it in, as we found.
Mine doesn't either.
But yeah, before we move on, just want to say with Zootopia, yeah, and also, yeah, the movie's been extremely successful, which is, I think, as of now, the most the largest opening weekend of any animated film in history. And
broke the one-day record in China, which is kind of 100 billion in one country, and it wasn't the United States.
So it could
Whoa.
Yeah, China loves Zootopia. Like that's like China's fallen out of like they don't like Hollywood movies as much as they used to. Like pretty much like it was a joke that like Fast and Furious and like Pirates movies we had all the spin-offs and all that because they're such big hits in China. Well, that's not really as successful as it used to be, but there are still some things that kick off, and Zootopia is one of those. And there's a reason like their Shanghai Disneyland has an entire Zootopia land because they love Zootopia.
Okay, which means that the best way for Hollywood to actually get into the China market now is to just make furry propaganda. That's what
Furry propaganda.
Furries will be the secret to your salvation.
Yeah. More.
But yeah, I just want to say, congratulations, Disney, and you actually did something well. It's like,
That's more like it.
Congratulations, you're now dependent on furries.
You're now dependent on the
Oh, they have the
furries.
money because they have the money for suits.
Let's
but
go.
also I will say, Zootopia like 3 better give us that
It
wild.
did have Fantastic Four, which I still got to see, but I'm told it was pretty good.
So with that said, I guess does everyone want to jump out with their media stuff they've been up to?
Daylover and I have a really interesting one.
Yeah.
We've been watching Hazbin Hotel.
Okay.
Let's go.
Wow.
Wow.
That was a second.
Thanks, I try.
Okay, second. I was gonna mention about some Black Friday deals I decided to go purchase.
Ooh, what do you get?
Ooh, what you get?
Well, I basically got myself a little dragon play mat based off of the villain of one of Car5 Vanguard seasons, and which it's this cute little grade 0 form called Little Unison Dragon Sybil, and he looks so precious. He's like a little centaur, red little dragon thing. It's just so cute.
Aww.
Like who can imagine this guy would try to rise up in a distorted way to try to destroy Earth by weaving chaos and making everyone just go knives at each other's necks with his powers? Because he was a cute little dominator. You are. And then I also received like a card for his deck because like even though he's not really meta defining right now, honestly, I still really like how his deck works. So I just went and got the cards anyway because I really do like it. I really did like how he made me feel during that season at the very end with his backstory and whatnot, and how his gameplay plays like sort of like a better version of one of my other Dragon Empire decks. And then I also got myself an on-sale version of electric tablet for like trying to getting back into art right now for like
nice.
180.
Ooh.
Yeah, so I'm just hoping like I could actually I don't know, maybe try to do commissions since honestly I feel like maybe my art's good enough to go for some cheap commissions if anyone wants to like do deals with me. So yeah, that's what I basically mainly decided to invest my money on for Black Friday.
Let's
All
go.
right.
I've been doing the usual, which is listening to an absurd amount of Asteria and Kitseki. I'm going to see if I can buy some of Asteria's merch because they have like a pentagram long sleeve with Asteria's character drawn on it. I'm going to see if I can buy it, but I'm also doing another purchase. I don't know if Icy will be happy or not to the fact that I'm promoting this here. The Icy Purple Invitational! This is an event owned by the Icy Purple, featuring everyone that he knows, including a couple people that he doesn't know because there was something last minute. And this event should be around January 3rd to the 10th. And I and my parents are paying a gracious amount of money to host the server, making us one of the hosts of the event along with Quags, who is creating the server in the first place. Now, you may be thinking, over $50 is quite an investment, but let me tell you, this event will be the best Minecraft event of all time. So yes, thank you, Icy Purple, for giving me this opportunity to let me pay you this sum of money and to call my parents thanking them for even agreeing to this. So yeah, I am financially supporting the Icy Purple invitation. I also told him that I could get the second opinion to sub in if someone subs out last minute because I already threw Jake into the mix because why not?
So what would I be volunteering for?
Minecraft event, and Candy would probably have to teach you everything about the game in 5 minutes.
Huh. Well, I've had worse. I mean, I'm a grocery store worker in the Halloween rush. Cramming stuff together is kind of what I do.
So I have no clue yet, but if second becomes a contender for subbing in, then I will have to get a mix of, I think Candy and Gick are the best of the game. So I just gotta throw them into a room and say, hey you, teach my mentor how to play modern Minecraft in 5 minutes before the event while I consult my team. All right, team, we're gonna win.
Right, and then we remake that episode of South Park.
You go on the trays to get the wood.
I don't know. I played RuneScape before. How different could it be?
Oh,
he
no.
said naively.
Oh no!
Oh no!
I'm gonna have to throw some of the top players into a room saying, "Hey, you do this." So it's like, "Hey, Hive, I know that you're not in the invitational. You help second anyway. Who else do I know who's good at the game? Red, I know you're not on the cast either, but go teach that second opinion how to play the game."
Great.
Dun, 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 dun.
The idea of Candy just running around you teaching you how to play the game is hilarious.
Boy. Which? I don't even know. I haven't met him yet, so
He's pretty cool.
oh, cool.
See, I left my stupid advertisement for the Icy Purple Invitational, and also I got married in Minecraft, and we had a priest at a gay wedding who also happened to be Icy, which is really funny because Icy was simultaneously the best man, the priest, and the Holy Spirit. This is a gay wedding full of atheists. And we didn't have the ring boy because the ring boy was supposed to be Sun, and Sun couldn't make it. So because Sun couldn't make it, we had to get the rings from God, aka the person who let us host the server here in the first place, who just threw them down from the sky and pretended to be Jesus. So I had a good wedding. Also, Candy had to be the flower girl and the person who cries in the background and the ring bearer.
Sounds like the best pseudo wedding I've heard of since when my younger, like 12, 11-year-old second cousin married, at quotation marks, my baby brother.
Wow.
And they put me in as the reverend.
Oh,
Dragged all the adults downstairs to see it. I'm like, we are here to honor Margaret and Owen sitting in a tree. KISSING. You're married to her, you're married to him, kissy kissy. And my mom kept, booing and hissing at my sense of humor and kept, making me do it again until I took it seriously.
Oh, no.
Oh my! That sounds way too much like what happened in this one, because literally, we didn't have any songs to play in the background because the mod for the songs wasn't working. So Icy decided to get Sun, who was on the Discord call, to start beatboxing, and then Icy started rapping. Now you might expect, this is good rapping, right? It was literally, yeah, it's a wedding, and at the wedding, you can't plan it, except you can, except if you're Sayuri, because she's bad at planning. And Candy is present. Yeah, it's a wedding. And so
Oi.
Scott is just aggressively beatboxing in the background.
There's always going to be one wedding to rule them all, right? Second.
Oh, yes. Oi.
No.
They're the one that nothing can top. I was
Aw.
there.
Aw.
But hire a better MC, my good Mr. Sayori.
I do need to hire a better MC because my priest was calling it a wedding and then calling me bad at planning and then kept reading off of a priest script from google.com about how to sound like a priest. And it was going on for too long until Candy started booing in the audience saying to get on with it and the fact that everybody was atheist and this was a gay wedding until Icy finally got on with it. And then we threw the rings from God because Icy said we needed to get the rings from God. He's also atheist. Everyone at this wedding is atheist, and yet we're getting the rings from Jesus fucking Christ. Then we start talking about Jesus Christ AO3 fan fictions, which apparently exist. And then after that, we ask God, aka the person running the server, to get us all drunk. And actually gave us the nausea effect in Minecraft and no one can say anything.
Yeah.
It's not hard to see. My freezing, ruthless heart is close to melting. This behavior makes me cry. I'm weeping, grieving, melting even. And as far as joining hearts, we all should start, or else we're leaving. I didn't think of that part.
Let's go.
Leaving gifts and kisses on Mr. Sayori and Maple.
Oh.
Mr. Sayori, Maple.
And chocolate.
The thing is, this wedding was so last minute, but then Hive Mind shows up out of nowhere, just like, hey, I was supposed to be the flower boy, and Candy just like, you win some, you lose some. I was the flower girl, and I was at the wedding. I was present. It was like 1 a.m. in Switzerland, and he actually showed up.
Why does it sound like a villain original story?
It was such a disaster. It was a disaster in a good way because everything was planned so drastically badly that Sap literally gave us the server because she knew a random guy who would do it for us last minute. A complete stranger hosted the wedding server because Sap, who we did know, knew the person. Oh my god.
Okay. I have the real things Daylover and I have been up to.
Let's go.
Okay, whatchamacallit? We've been watching Star Trek The Next Generation, and we just got through the season that fans say is officially where it got good. And granted, I didn't think seasons 1 and 2 are as bad as they like to boo and hiss about. In fact, sometimes, every so often, they were great, but most of the time it would have been just an average show if that's how it was. But yeah, 3 really kicked into high gear.
Also, I'm going to brag about your Thanksgiving gift.
Oh yes, Anna got me a Seto Kaiba briefcase for my magic cards.
Let's go.
Oi. So that
So now
is
you
where
can
we're
be
at with that.
Do.
Yeah, that was pretty much where we're at with that. But
Yeah.
okay, so what was I saying? Oh yeah, and I showed Anna a Daylover.
This is
Would you let me finish your
second name.
Where was I? Oh yeah, I actually had to see this episode of Star Trek, the most infamous one, even before I got into The Next Generation, the great TV cliffhanger of television history. I am Locutus, a Borg. You will all be assimilated, Mr. Worf.
We all are
Fire.
assimilated already.
To black.
People and we are all in a simulation. People boop.
Yeah. Okay. And so yeah, that episode was about as strong as I remembered, and now I showed it to Daylover, and she didn't like it.
No.
Shocking.
Right?
As I said, we were all in a simulation.
Like, anyway. Oh, and then otherwise, I'm doing something I really, really never thought I would do. I might have brought this up that I was going to anyway in the group before. Something that is completely outside my zero attention span wheelhouse.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
I'm reading Moby Dick.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I forget. I mean, a couple of things put me up to it. This blog of like books that no, really, you should read. These are you might not realize what diamonds they are in the rough. Like Moby Dick was on there, and I was weirdly intrigued. And then after like looking into it a little more here and a little more there, I just kind of said to myself, you know what? When am I literally ever gonna have the urge to do this? Why not do something that has nothing to do with nothing and is completely outside my wheelhouse? I can listen to audiobooks on the way to work instead of YouTube videos. Let's try it.
Yeah.
And actually, there is a lot going in its favor right now. I'm sticking with it, which is unusual for me. I'm about a third of the way through it. And yeah, there's a lot going in its favor, not least of which is it's weird.
Yep.
Like, Moby Dick is way more Lovecraftian than the whole crazy foaming at the mouth captain wants to get that whale archetype makes it sound.
Oh, it's going
What?
Like, the first thing it does, that part of the book where every classic takes too long to get going and stuff, like, I think that's what Moby Dick intended to do, but okay. The first couple of chapters is we are introduced to Mr. Call Me Ishmael, who explains that signing up to be a sailor is what he does every time he gets existentially depressed with life as a drifter. Hey, go see the world where it's covered in water and you literally can't go anywhere else, so you are in a whole other world, whether you like it or not. That's his cure. He comes to town, stays at the cheap inn that has to deck itself out in old harpoons and fishing trophies because it's the cheap inn, that's all it's got. He stops and obsesses over the beaten-up, abstract, vaguely Lovecraftian painting he finds there for a chapter. Goes and bunks with a cannibal, or at least that's the book's term for kind of a Maori warrior who we do know did cannibalize their enemies after they defeated them, scare the heck out of him, and vice versa when the cannibal guy comes home because the landlord didn't tell him that, hey, you got a bunkmate for a prank.
Oh no.
And then the landlord comes in, like, laughs at it. No, he wouldn't hurt a fly. It's like, this man sleep here tonight, eh? And so cannibal immediately switches into good host mode. Ishmael decides, he's cool. He's just a guy. And I quote, better a sober cannibal than a drunken Christian. Yeah, Moby Dick is not sure that it likes Christians. It likes Christianity, okay, I think. It does not necessarily like Christians. It finds them frequently hypocritical, which is part of Ishmael's thinking when he then becomes BFFs with the cannibal.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're the rest of the chapters from there till they get to the boat. The two of them are smoking up a storm together and having a grand old time and bunking together and eating together and sneaking extra helpings of the famous clam and or cod chowder together. And then one night Ishmael wakes up. Actually, this is the first night, finds the guy has his arm draped around him all cuddly and sweet. But he can't move without pushing the guy's arm off, which he says reminds us of his sleep paralysis demon that came for him when his evil stepmom made him go to bed too early, even by punishment standards, like in the middle of the day. So he woke up in the middle of the night to his sleep paralysis demon grabbing his hand.
Oh, no.
There too.
Wow.
Kind of sort.
Oi. Yeah. That's all before we meet Captain Ahab, who does not show his face for the entire voyage.
Oh.
And, well, the entire first leg of the voyage until Ishmael walks out on the deck one day and finds him standing there up above in the lookout spot, like he's practically carved more than born, and his eyes can't be broken from their gaze. He does not seem to have a warm bone in his body, like he's just carved from steel. Except then it turns out, as the weather gets nicer, this man who had his leg bitten off on his very last voyage and just got out of being quote-unquote sick, seems like, actually, he doesn't mind it so much when the weather gets nicer. His face gets a little softer. He's not a bad man. He, in fact, he's even kind of a considerate guy. He knows that his leg makes up sound when he's walking everywhere, so he makes sure not to walk down the hallways at night where he might wake up the crew. And, when he smokes his pipe in the middle of the night, he laments that, I've been smoking into the wind without even thinking about it. It's hard for me to be happy these days. I'm not even, I'm not one for these kinds of comforts anymore, and tosses his pipe over there. And then the first mate starts bickering with him over something, maybe being a bit of a smart aleck, and Captain Ahab, he seems like he wants to put him in his place, but he stumbles off. And then the first mate decides, maybe he has the upper hand here. He comes after Ahab again. And then Ahab wheels around and scares the shit out of him.
Oh, no.
Like, no, sir, I won't be so easily called a dog. I'd be called 10 times an ass and a donkey and a jackass and get out of there, a billion other things. And be gone now before I wipe the world with thee. Yeah.
That's Ahab for you.
I know, I did not know that Moby Dick's approach was that Ahab does not start out as Ahab, but he has the Ahab that he's going to be deep down inside him. His speech about why he wants to get Moby Dick is the second mate or whoever. It's like, I didn't sign up to not make any money off of lots of whales, just chased after one. It's a dumb animal. What do you get? His speech about how, the world being malicious to you is by design, something that happened for a reason, and he would punch the sun if it smited him. And the thing is, the implication is that we haven't even seen the Ahab of stereotype yet, that he's going to keep sinking lower and lower until he becomes the guy.
You shouldn't go to my favorite part in the book.
Yeah. So I'm kind of making this book sound awesome here. But on the other hand, a whole chapter about the color white. A whole 3 chapters rolled into one about Ishmael's amateur biology lesson that begins, in my opinion, whales are fish.
No.
Ishmael is not, to be fair, an audience POV character. He's kind of neurodivergent coded because he always wants to analyze stuff and put them in their place and whatnot. But I'm getting a little sick of hearing him do that with literally everything. So it's both the book that people are afraid it's going to be and it isn't. But if they ever make a Hollywood movie, the actual material well adapted, faithfully to an extent, but moreover well adapted, has the potential to be 10 times as good as anything else has been. So keep the Lovecraftian stuff, people. Just stop with the stereotypes about the captain, iconic Ahab captain wants to get that whale. There's more to it than that.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have a lot of thoughts about Moby Dick, just like Moby Dick has a lot of thoughts about literally everything. Next.
I like it. Sounds interesting.
Really, in a lot of ways.
Honestly, I think that without, the whole color white and biology thing, it genuinely seems like something interesting to read. I like it.
Yeah, it wasn't from the 1850s. It has the language of the time, and it could partly be that I'm getting better at stomaching that because I'm older now. I'm less impatient than I was, but it's not the worst offender I've seen there. I've had to read and reread stuff. What are you saying to me again? Way more than this is forcing me to do so far. And to be fair, even the color white stuff, like it goes on way too long, but it's still like so many angles of it. It becomes kind of a soliloquy that works in a lot of ways, like how that's the part of the whale that is getting Ishmael a little, like twists his stomach a little bit. Like on one hand, white, it's the color of brides. It's the color of marble, a white rose, a white angel. Like we ascribe a lot of good things to it, but isn't there something kind of sinister to it? Kind of like that same quality can strike the palate wrong. A great white shark, a white polar bear,
No,
a white ghost.
I know what's really wrong.
Yeah,
with
like,
it.
I mean, a black horseman is a monster, a black rider of death is a monster, but a white rider of death is the monster. That, like, slapping white on these things suddenly makes them one of a kind and kind of a pure force of and unforgettable. And, like, and actually, if that were all, that would have been kind of a cool chapter, but he had like 10 more thoughts about it after that.
Yeah, I know what's really wrong with the color white.
Huh.
It's not a color; it's a contrast.
Actually, he brings that up too. That was one of those other 10 thoughts.
Let's
you
go,
didn't
Jay.
know earlier.
Like,
Let's go, Jay.
Okay, before I go totally white, I think we need to continue.
all right. The part about the react, unless anybody else has been up to something.
Eh,
Binged about season 1 of Peacemaker.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Surprisingly,
Oh yeah, there's no. What is that called? Beastars.
I'm surprised I binged it. I'm like, well, I'll be darned, huh?
Oh, yeah, we got to do that too.
Yeah.
James Gunn is like continuing a good streak.
James Gunn is gonna James Gunn, and then all of a sudden, so now I'm starting to realize he got a style when it comes to comedy and such. It'll be like a real serious moment, and then someone starts commenting on something completely different. Like there's a ragtag group that's about to go to their final mission. One of them starts like, I just want to say something. I've never seen The Godfather, and the other everyone's like, "Wah!" That sort of humor, and then before you know it, this serious moment is tainted by this stupid conversation.
Yep.
Oh.
But apparently, that is what James Gunn does.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, now James Gunn, I mean, he has like a style that a lot of good things can come from, but if you had something else in mind for certain epic moments or certain sad moments or something, I mean, he's gonna do them in a James Gunn way. So
Right.
you gotta, I guess, accept that you're not always gonna have the final word there.
Except, yes, definitely.
Mhm.
I guess with that said, we can move on to what the main topic of this thing, which is Hazbin Hotel season 2. So, what are your all thoughts? And does anyone want to go first on it?
I'm all right with that, I think.
Actually, before we go, I guess we'll do a quick go around everyone's like big picture thoughts. Like, do you think it was better, about the same, or worse than season 1?
I think that it's better than season 1 in many regards. The only thing that I don't think is better than season 1 is one particular episode with Charlie being an absolute buffoon. So, like, the one thing that I think makes it worse than season 1 is that season 1 sort of established multiple characters as like strong threats. It feels like a lot of people in this season get nerfed to make Vox look stronger, and Charlie is just unbearable. So, like, Charlie was a lot more of a likable character, and a lot of the other characters seemed like they had a lot more power and strength that wasn't just Vox. So those are the two main points I have when it comes to, like, season 1 being better than season 2 in those regards. In every other regard, I think that season 2 has a beat, though, especially when it comes to the writing department. Like, the only writing that's genuinely unbearable in this season is Charlie. But other than that, the writing has gone significantly better.
I would definitely say this season is it's definitely much more polished, much more higher quality than season 1. It has some issues with like storytelling cues and maybe some retcons about how some characters act with other characters from season 1, and then how that's turned on its head in season 2 for particular relationships, which didn't give you any hints at all that it would hide any sort of hidden meaning or depth. And also the idea of Lilith is now becoming a lot less interesting and a lot more. When it happened, but I'm already getting fatigued by the idea of Lilith. So if we're going to drop the bomb now, if you drop the bomb now, then just do it. Because I do not want any more buildup to nothing. Because unless you showcase to me like a lot more about like Lilith's efforts instead of just being like, oh, a little bit of mention at the beginning of season 1. Then season 2 is like Vox is besmirching her name by saying, oh, her efforts to basically radicalize the sinners in order to rebel against heaven and whatnot. And I'm not getting a feel of her personality except for her absenteeness and her just chilling at the pier at the end of season 1. And I'm like,
in season 2, like literally, I find it so fucking annoying that they did it 2 times in a row. Like I get that they had Lilith planned for season 3, but still having 2 Lilith cliffhangers in a row and having her as a background element again, and having fucking Lute having to tell Lilith to not do anything, like that is just the biggest punch in the face possible to the people who were waiting for Lilith to be a big deal, to just say, oh, you know that cliffhanger where it says the Lute is trying to get Lilith's help to like get Charlie in control? Well, that goes fucking nowhere, because after one fucking conversation, one 30-second conversation with Sarah, Lute tells Lilith to call it out. It takes a 30-second conversation to call out the biggest thing that people were looking forward to in the 2nd season. That cliffhanger was the one thing people were hyper-fixating on for the entire season. And they managed to fuck it up by making it so that a 30-second conversation was what made her completely call it off. And then with, Lilith finally calling Charlie, we have a second fucking Lilith cliffhanger in a row. Like, I get they had her planned for season 3. I understand that. But it seems like the biggest punch in the face ever, that this is what people were waiting for. And it went fucking nowhere. It ended in a 30-second conversation and then began again in 5 seconds at the end of the last episode. You gotta be fucking kidding me.
Honestly, I do have to say the one bright spot I could say about for season 2 compared to season 1 is instead of putting Charlie as a daddy issues girl, she was actually called out rightfully about her actually having mommy issues, which makes more sense for her character, considering like she might have been absent from her father just because of her mother, but like all of her longing to like aspire to be to her design to be as grand as her mother is like the main thing of why she's even doing the hotel in the first place, and why she's even sabotaging, why she's not even good at doing what she promised to do at the very beginning for the show's premise. It's just because all of this is just a plea to like her mom, basically, of like, look at me, talk to me. Why don't you answer me? I'm just doing all of this just so I could be in line with you, to not just be like in the shadow and not hear anything from you anymore. It's like, yeah, 7 years of just being without her is just really damaging like her outlook and making her go spiraling into making projects that seem illogical and yet somehow work through the miraculous powers of, I managed to befriend a sinner that might actually grow into a decent human being, which then became Serpentious, basically.
Yeah.
And now it's just like, yeah, Charlie, you came into this plan of like rehabilitating sinners and not really having like an actual idea or comprehension led to you making a lot of serious errors that get in your way, including every single time you interact with Angel Dust, which Angel
Every
Dust isn't a
single
dead
time.
horse, is a dead horse at this point. And which even in the first episode of the season 2, all the interactions with Valentina was just made into an actual joke, and I'm like, okay. We really doing this now, huh?
Like
So,
Charlie is literally beating a horse that's been dead for thousands of years at this point with the amount of stupid fucking advances she's making trying to help Angel. Until he gets away from Valentino, he's a fully lost cause.
And rightfully so, like Angel rightfully leaves the hotel at the end of season 2 because aside from like him having trust issues since he could be a spy again, it's also just
he needs to get away from Charlie. He needs to get away from Charlie.
If he's gonna rehabilitate, he's either gonna have to figure out to get out of the contract, and I don't think Charlie's gonna be the one to redeem him. That's just the honest truth. It's probably just going to be Huska because he was the actual therapist of the hotel this season, and he kind of did a good job.
Just
therapist of this season, like Husky is genuinely the actual therapist of this season. So, like you said, I think what's going to happen is that Angel is going to find some way because Valentino is being built up at the last part of the episode to be one of the main villains of the next season. So, what I think is going to happen is that Angel like teams up with Husk and Cherry and finds a way to get out of his contract. And then if he does get redeemed, which I don't think is going to be in season 3 because you need that fan favorite character support, sometime in the series, the way Angel gets redeemed isn't going to be through Charlie. It's going to be through Husk no matter what. Because Husk even understands Angel even more than Cherry does on so many levels. And he doesn't enable Angel's toxic self-harming behaviors. So Husk is already a better friend than Cherry Bomb is. So from that fact alone, with Cherry being in even like a semi-queer platonic relationship with this guy about how fucking close they are, with that in mind, the fact that Husk has already gone deeper into Angel's psyche than that, Husk is going to be the one to redeem Angel. It's not going to be Charlie. It's not going to be Cherry, considering that she caused a lot of his issues by enabling them. Husk is going to be the one to redeem Angel if he does get redeemed in this season, which he probably won't. He'll probably get redeemed later because he got to have that fan favorite character energy. But when he gets redeemed, it's going to be Husk.
I will point out this is starting to become a bit spiraling thoughts.
Yeah, I was just going to go
the
up.
section that was supposed to be the overall thoughts everybody has, or just like the broad ones.
Yeah,
sorry, I have a couple too many opinions. My apologies.
No worries.
We just want to get everyone else's like final like thoughts on like better or worse, about the same as season 1.
Okay. I guess, and yeah, for me, I would say, and you know how like, you know what I'm about, how I've studied writing a bit and like to get my degree and all that. Like my thing ends up being, for better and for worse, story first and foremost, and which not better or worse if it's story character driven or plot driven, conflict driven, setting driven, which shouldn't be a thing but somehow is, what have you. Just the linking material, you know, how much I feel like you're cohesively getting your vision across to me, how much I feel like we're communicating, how much it feels like you're building this picture for me that in a way that holds together and builds momentum and transports me to this other world. And in that, I'd say slightly worse this season. Slightly. Hazbin Hotel's style for me, and you might have heard me say this before, is kind of fast and loose. It does follow a more cohesive narrative than something like Hell of a Boss. Like each previous episode is supposed to build into the next one, is supposed to lead into the next one to follow an arc for the season, which in Hell of a Boss's case, I feel like almost leads to more single highlight episodes because, they, I guess, only really feel the absolute need to follow the rule of just, okay, where are these characters at right now? What do we want to explore with them? And a lot of the time, that's these revelatory episodes. for any of the main cast. Hazbin Hotel, more narrative, but yeah, that has its pros, that has its cons. Season 1, I felt like while I didn't have any particular episode to pick out as like a one highlight, it was pretty fun to see this growing, building, expanding picture, and people would point out, oh, that could have been more. Lucifer could have had more than one episode to come back and be Charlie's dad again after all this time. And then if it had been more of a slow burn, that could have been gone from touching to really touching. And I was like, okay, in theory, but nevertheless, in practice, stuff like that was really good. They hit a lot of notes there. They had these characters bounce off each other in a way that felt organic. Lucifer comes, he sees the hotel. They haven't gotten to the point just yet, so he decides maybe his way back in is to flex and tell you how much he's going to help you out. No, you want me as your dad. I'm a big shot. And which leads to him measuring dicks with Alistair, which leads to what's-her-name coming back in and derailing things a bit. And then they back into the point. And, the fact of the matter breaks loose that Lucifer doesn't want to mess with heaven again on any level, doesn't want more pain, doesn't want more heartache. And he and Charlie pivot to opening up to each other about how, okay, there are a lot of hard feelings there, but this is important to her, and he wants to be there for her, and she wants him to be there for her, because what they've left unsaid for all these years is that as much as Lilith was sort of the show stealer parent, Charlie took a lot of inspiration from Lucifer, and there's a lot about him that she built off of to become who she is. There is a lot of love there and a lot of admiration there, and all of that. And it sounded like I didn't rehearse that at all before I said it, and partly because I didn't, but also because it's kind of, the fast and loose ends up feeling very organic there and very. So, okay, there's a lot of merit to the fast and loose, and there was in this season as well. It like that climax with Vox. I mean, as far as the escalating action and conflict, that was buttery smooth. That was immaculate. Like how it pivots from their invasion, getting semi-botched, but then made worse by Alistair forcing Charlie to say the one thing that means Vox wins, only for it to turn out that means Alistair wins, which was perfectly laid out the whole time. So now the game shifts to a fight between Vox and Alistair, where they might just be able to plain old beat Vox, not mattering whether they shift the perspective on him or not. But then that does end up mattering when he goes a little too crazy. So even though he gets the upper hand in the fight, he loses it everywhere else that he needed it in. And a lot there in the fast and loose. It works really well. Overall, I think it was, for comparison, season 1, and I had to think a lot about who has a fast and loose style in stories that we remember and appreciate for this comparison. Season 1, I would say, was like watching Soma from Food Wars cook. On the whole, it's really fun rooting for this guy. He comes up with a lot of offbeat ideas that are fun to take in and fun to, picture and visualize. And he's sometimes you can see that he could be better. And, sometimes you realize that, there could be more to this plan, and maybe there will be later. And, he doesn't always he's not always the best, but you really respect the method and the talent and the vision. And it, overall is, the guy you're glad is your protagonist, the guy you're glad you chose and you're rooting for. Season 2 is like watching Joey Wheeler duel.
Wait. Do you have a problem with Joey Wheeler? My good
Let me explain. I said slightly worse. It's like watching Joey Wheeler duel. There's still a lot of inspiration there. There's still some fun dow of looseness and offbeatness. There's still even a lot of admirable qualities in what he's able to throw together with only sometimes limited resources, or just nothing but the vision in his head, the what he brings from to express. You know, there's still a lot of those same qualities that make Soma rooting for. There's also times where it feels like it's getting away from him a little bit. There are also moments where you're like, okay, dude, that one was just plain stupid. There's also moments where like it tries your patience a little bit, that like you don't always feel like he's the one that you would stick with and bet on through thick and thin. And like it's great when he does pull it off, but sometimes he doesn't. And season 2, there were times where it didn't. And we brought up Charlie, for example, like she's bad this season, but everybody's talking about her as though she were a real person, that like, what is inside of Charlie now is now inherently bad because of the character they turned her into. I feel like if you pull back the curtain a little more, the mechanic is
more like an over-exaggeration. It doesn't even feel mainly like a different character. It just feels like an over-exaggeration of an already existing character written poorly.
Right. Well, I feel like when you pull back the curtain, it's specifically the moments where she's supposed to lose. The show knows that requires her to be kind of stupid for Vox to outsmart her a little bit. And where it's done a lot of moments like that where you're like, okay, but I can still see why someone would do these things that way. Like, I'm sure I could think of a better example if I sat here longer, but you're all sick of my voice already. So like Serpentius in season 1, you see why he keeps coming back to bang his head against the wall. That is Alistair, who keeps telling him he's forgettable and easy and prompting another fight. And you see why he's willing to risk himself, like infiltrating the Hazbin Hotel, and then why he would abruptly blow it and be like, okay, just kill me. And then why Charlie, who's been bonding with him up to now, even if it wasn't the truth per se, why she would give him another chance from there. The scene where Vox gets the best of her, it's like, you know what? We could probably think of something smarter. What if we just winked at the audience and like told them jokes about, okay, no, we know this is stupid. What if it's that stupid? What if Charlie is so panicky that she promises to do the dumbest possible thing she could actually think was going to work? What if she's doing this like ham-fisted, one-woman show about how Angel is going to give candy to little girls and save Husk from the train tracks driven by Danny Doobad, and like, I mean, you can see the fact that, okay, we're not supposed to take this too seriously. This is just, audience, this is just the part where Charlie loses. Just sit back and don't take it too seriously and enjoy the jokes. But the fact of the matter is, I mean, you can tell that's all the more seriously they intend to take it, because Charlie's comeuppance, such as it is, well, you didn't listen to us either. Well, yeah, but I'm still mad at you. Well, I'm still mad at you. Okay, let's wait a scene to be mad at each other and then get back together, and that's it. But the fact is, she violated Angel's consent. She violated his boundaries, his comfort zone. That is a bigger deal than both Charlie, the rest of the characters, and the episode make it out to be.
Yeah.
So even if there are such reasons, such as they did cleverly slip in a moment where Angel looks at Vox's face when he still doesn't want to do this, and then Vox does the hypno eye and he turns back and says, well, I'll give it a try. And, but yeah, this is just, okay, you just decided to cheese it up. You decided you could get away with that one. Like, hey, let's not think about it too much. Let's not take it too seriously. And it fell through on you. You decided that Lucifer, because he was the MVP at the end of season 1, like, all right, we can't do that every season. Let's find a way so that he can't do that twice. Let's let other people be the MVPs this time. And so same solution. Let's just, okay, Lucifer has to lose here. We could probably make it seem a little more earned, but I mean, it's not that supposed to be that serious. Let's just cheese it up. Like, let's ham up him walking into the thing and making fun of how much he doesn't get it, like he does, but he doesn't. Wow, this is sure the serial killer aesthetic, honey. Oh, you want me to stand on this big red X of death? Well, whatever you're into. And even when Vox reveals himself, hey, you're not Charlie, but it's like, okay, but you're not, you're playing fast and loose here. You want to just like, okay, let's not think about the other stuff. Let's just think about how funny this is. But the problem is, it was fun to root for Lucifer. It was fun having him as this powerful MVP. And like the fact that you just sort of unceremoniously sideline him and kick him to the curb.
Yeah.
It's just not as fun. Yes, and there were ways around that. You could have, like, I don't know, you could have had Vox chain him up, be like, you can't smite me, and have him be like, well, I can still break all your shit, and have him, like, destroy the whole lair, but then realize he's still chained up, and then, Vox, like, okay, you set my plans back a week by destroying my lair, but I still have you chained here. So, just like, you could have still made it matter that Lucifer is that powerful, and
that's a pretty good compromise, but they didn't do that, and it's annoying.
So again, it's just like there's points where, okay, I mean, they're aware on some level of what we expect from everyone and what we want to see, and they weave it together really well on the whole, but it gets away from them a few times this time. It's like, it's really not their best performance as far as, hanging loose and limber and just, letting it all out in whatever direction they feel like. So it starts to get a little just plain sloppy a couple of times. And for that, I would say, even though there are several series highlight moments here, and it's like, it's still cut from the same cloth, we still have our grand show, the Hazbin Hotel. I would say it was a slightly worse performance of the two.
All right,
And
let's go with Day and Jen, who on their thoughts if this season was better, worse, the same as season one.
Well, Day is gone to bed, so.
All right, Jen?
Jen may be sleeping.
Yeah, let me see.
She did say she was sleepy.
Jen.
We'll find that out. But I guess for my thoughts, I feel this season was better, but also had more flaws than season one. I think we can agree, like, probably the Dudley Do Right episode is the worst episode in the entire Hazbin series, including the pilot. I think we all agree on that, right?
Yeah. And to be honest, the Katie Killjoy episode right after it was not particularly better, maybe just in that it was less painful. But those were probably my picks for the two worst.
Yeah. Just to go into my own little rant, like, I feel like watching and even doing some readings of her webcomics of Busy Pop, or what's her actual name?
Viv Madrano.
Viv. Let me just say Viv. Watching her, reading her some of her webcomics after starting doing her media, I do feel her writing is getting a lot better and more consistent. However, like, there are still some flaws she worked with, because she does come from a webcomic thing, which is like original series, like Zoophobia, like just sort of like the webcomic problem of just sort of meander around too much and just sort of never went anywhere. And then it was like, okay, got canceled at some point. And gonna have some very successful spin-offs like Hazbin and Hello Boss. But just trying to get back to is, like, I feel writing is definitely getting better. If you just compare like seasons 1 and 2 of like Hazbin and Hello Boss, However, she does still have some flaws, and one of them is like I feel she definitely knows like how she wants to end a season, and like she's gotten where she wants to sort of build to and build up, and she knows how to sort of start and set up. However, there's like that one. She seems to suffer in like the second 2/4 point, like the first third, the second half she does well at, but like that one like quarter in the middle, like the second quarter, like you know what I mean? Like I'm trying to say like the not the first quarter, but like right after that is like where she struggles, where it's like, okay, she's set up how she wants to end. She knows how she's going to end the season and build to that and it'll be well. But like the filler in between, like she struggles. And I felt that with like had Hell of a Boss last season, where like there was like a big drag in like the episodes before like the halfway point, and then it kicked up again and just sort of kept kicked up. And this season, like yeah, there was a sort of drag, like the episodes like was it 3 and 4 that had the Killjoy or the Deadly Delight thing, or those episodes 2 or 3?
The Katie Killjoy episode.
3 was Danny Dubad. 4
that was
was
out.
Katie Killjoy.
So yeah, that actually does line perfectly up with like the second quarter, where like I feel she struggles the most with this finding essentially like okay, she knows how she wants to end it, which is basically the lead up and also the climax, which is the third and fourth quarters, and she knows how to basically do setup, like which is the first quarter, but that like she still seems to struggle with the second quarter, like of basically the in between of the leading up to the finale and also like the setup. And I definitely felt that, and like that's where like we got the camp episode and has Hell of a Boss, and also the camper episode, gosh, I'm trying to remember some of the episodes are just like where we just had a few forgettable episodes in a row. And then everything like when we got to like the second half of season 2, like everything was like hit. So I think that is a flaw in her writing still, but I do overall feel she is getting better, especially when it comes to setting up, paying off. I do feel the finale, I think you brought up before, is definitely a stronger finale than last season.
Honestly,
it might have been a better action climax, but I mean, let's not forget how emotional it was. The angels are going to come and kill everybody in the Hazbin Hotel and actually get Serpentious, and just the way that escalates. So,
yeah,
I'm not so sure. The finale is both strong
I have to
points.
agree. I have to agree with second. That was the thing I was going to say.
Yeah, exactly.
Season 2 is the better finale. I feel like season 1 had the better finale because season 2, I did not like the very end at all. Really,
me neither.
Everyone like just going together, just singing in harmony, being like, "Oh, we're all and I'm like, this does not feel right at all.
The power of Overlord friendship defeating probably one of the best, most well-written villains in the entire show is just a slap to the face, considering how much Vox was built up. Like, you seriously have him being this major threat, and then he doesn't even get defeated by Alistair. If he got defeated by Alistair, that would be something big. That would be something important. But he got beaten up by Alistair, and then, right when he was about to be defeated, suddenly Valentino shows up out of fucking nowhere and rips his head off. Like, that should have been Alistair ripping his head off, not fucking Valentino.
Well, let's give Alistair his due here. He created that rift between the V's in the first place. That was kind of his plan, or one of his plans, coming to fruition.
Oh yeah, I know that
Vox,
Alistair's plan ended up working out. It just felt like Valentino stole Alistair's moment, in my opinion.
Well, I mean, like, as far as Vox being defeated, Vox was already defeated. He wasted his last trump card, which was about to blow, and he decided he was just going to pull everyone into a tie, and that's what the power of friendship defeated, the everybody loses angle.
Valentino essentially was the nifty of like this season, where like, he did the finishing blow on Vox, but like it was not like the one who defeated him. Like,
exactly.
Lucifer defeated the heck out of Adam, and like in this season, like Alistair defeated the heck out of Vox when they fought. Like if it wasn't for like
Wait, that's actually a
Shockwave.
genuinely good point. Like they literally did the same thing 2 seasons in a row where Lucifer was the one who really defeated Adam, and then Nifty landed the final blow. Alistair was the one who defeated Vox, and then Valentino did the final blow. They did the same formula twice in a row.
It's kind of a good strategy. Like the actual defeat that matters is from the characters who did all the planning and thinking and fighting and cool stuff. And then the pure, okay, but they also need to like maybe die or maybe not entirely die, but they need to like be not just beaten, but like kicked all the way to the curb. That's done by a character who's actually mean enough to do it. Like Nifty by just not even thinking about it, just by going into full Nifty mode as everybody's about to let Adam go after he finishes throwing his last tantrum. And then Vox, I mean, I guess Valentino, it's technically helping a little by making sure Vox can't press the button, but just like, okay, you all have beaten me, or you all stopped me from winning, but now we're all losing. Now I'm gonna, no, you are not killing us for this. Rip. We're going.
Yeah, that's
wait,
sort of
the
is
tie is going to happen whether you rip my head off or not. All right, well, I guess we got a power of friendship it now.
We got a power of friendship it.
That is sort of like how it is different, like a sort of a flip, because Nifty essentially just killed Lucifer because not Lucifer, Adam, because like he was like she sort of didn't care to have no connection here. It's like sort of the opposite. Or Vox, Valentino like not really finished off, like basically put Vox in timeout just because he was just out of control. And it's like because he actually does care about him. So sort of is a flip of who gets a final blow and like the motivation why. And like I definitely I feel we sort of feel like Vox is gone, but like Vox is eventually going to come back. He's just basically put in timeout.
He basically got put in timeout. Viv said that his arc isn't done yet, and that season 3 is going to be getting him humbled as fuck, considering they got to rebuild him a new body, and Vox Tech is no longer his. Vox Tech now belongs to Valentino. Velvet is still going strong on those love potions, which Vox definitely seemed like he wasn't even interested in at all, but it seems like they're finally starting to like rack up steam. So Val is just gonna humble the fuck out of Vox in season 3. So season 3 is gonna be Vox suffering for his crimes, from what I've heard.
Well, I think in general, it's like not just Vox is put on timeout, but I feel all of the V's are like they're going to be like they're not going to be main antagonists anymore. They're just going to be potentially independent parties that are important. Like I like to call it a third party of fiction, where it's like they're powerful, but they're not sort of main players. And I feel that's like because they're still controlling all of the media and all that, so they're still relevant that way. But they're not going to like directly be trying to take over heaven or even like just basically make the Hazbin Hotel like hurt them directly for any reason. They're just basically going to move on and just do other things and sort of like try to rebuild.
I think that Bella is going to be semi-relevant, considering that Viv confirmed that this is going to be a more Angel Dust centered season. So Valentino is going to be important in that regard. Plus, also the fact that he owns Vox Tech now. But at the same time, Val is not the main villain of this season, like at all. So my guess is that Val is going to be semi-relevant only because of owning Vox Tech and having Angel, but that's it. Velvet is only going to be relevant because of the love potions, which is probably either going to be important or in the background. We don't know that yet, so she's probably also going to be semi-important. And Vox is just going to be in the background getting humbled every 5 seconds. So, like, for now, the V's are all on timeout.
Yeah, I mean, who is poised to be a main villain? Like, I feel like Alistair still has some, especially since they reset the status quo with him like they did. He still has some grinning in the background and plotting to do before any main villaining happens with him. So probably Lute still feels like she has to wait a minute. Like, I don't know, maybe it'll be that things are okay for a while, but yeah, I feel like the most plausible, like, immediate villains, unless they introduce somebody else, are just like Lute chomping at the bit to make her move, and maybe Valentino just being not a main villain, but maybe like an annoyance, a thorn in the side, something like that.
Well, I think he'll be a main villain for Angel Dust, but like not like a
Well,
potentially
that
destroy, like not
I get.
destroying, like not a major like threat for like the greater hell or heaven sort of thing.
Lute is going to be a main villain of season 3. I don't know if she's going to be the main villain because we don't know what the fuck Viv is going to do with Lilith, and we don't know what Alistair is planning, especially since, you know, the logo has been confirmed to be purple and green, which heavily alludes to Alistair and Lute. So because of that, Alistair and Lute are probably going to end up being, well, not Alistair and Lute, Alistair and Lilith. So because it's like, you know, green and purple, it's probably going to be focused around Alistair and Lilith. So I know that Lute is going to be one of the main villains from Viv's live stream alone. I just don't think she's going to be one of the main villains, as Alistair and Lilith seem to have a lot more buildup, especially because, you know, the fucking logo. So I think it's probably going to be Alistair and Lilith are going to be in the limelight the most. And then Lute is going to be doing a ton of shit, but not as much as they're doing. And then fucking Valentino and the V's are just going to be doing background things, like Valentino being a threat for Angel Dust and owning Box Tech. Velvet keeps making the love potions and potential romance with one of the people who work at her office from what people saw in the background. So, like, I don't know, we might get some Velvet Yuri, ooh. And also Vox just getting humbled as Fox. So I think that's going to be the lineup. The V's are just going to be doing background shit. Alistair and Lilith are going to be the main deal, and then Lute is going to be right behind them.
I think it might be interesting where I think the next season there might not be like a main overarching villain like there was in Adam and the Vox, where it's like, oh, they must be stopped or else. It could be a lot of like
building up 3 people. They're
it could be like
it
could be very personal villains this time. Like I feel Alistair could be like the biggest villain where like his nefariousness is going to affect more people and like be setting up stuff. But he might like, because I don't feel like it feels too soon for like Alistair to be like the 3rd season villain and then like he's done with. So like I feel this might be where he's taking steps and then like he becomes like a major threat in the 4th season.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like overall, like the next season might be more individual focused, like the Angel Dust and like dealing with Valentino, and then like Lute's like trying to figure out what the hell she like basically feeling repressed, like there's no options, so like whatever she does, like sort of like break free and like get her revenge in her own way. And then like whatever like Lilith is like, I don't feel Lilith is going to be like an overarching bad, even if she's making bad decisions or repercussion decisions. I feel like whatever like she's dealt with is more self-centered in some way or another, or
Lute,
not like,
or I'm not Lute, Lilith.
No, I did say Lilith. But like I feel like it will be more personal with Charlie and Lucifer, like in terms of like her villainous actions and like being a major threat for hell or something like that. So like I feel like next season might not have like a big overarching villain, but it might be setting up a next major villain and have like several like personal villains, because and everyone would be focused on like Angel Dust and like Valentino, but like arguably Alistair's worse with Husk. So there's that thing to deal with. So yeah, I feel like this, because I feel like I think Biz said like the next season is going to be focused on love and all that. So it might be more individual character focused drama instead of a major world like ending catastrophe sort of thing. Like
Yeah.
Serpent.
I still think that Lilith isn't gonna be a main focus because we all know Viv. So I think that like Alistair, she already said that Alistair is gonna be more evil. So Alistair is probably gonna have like a lot of focus. Lilith is gonna have some focus, but probably not as much as people want her to have, unfortunately. We all know that Lute is gonna be important as fuck because they built her up so much, and Viv literally said that Lute is going to be one of the main villains. So, like, Lute is going to be important no matter what happens. So, Lute will be important. Alistair will be important. Lilith is a 50-50.
Like I said, the lowest importance will be mostly focused on, at least next season will be mostly focused on Charlie and Lucifer, I feel. Like, that's where like the drama. Like I said, this would be a very personal focus season. Alistair, I feel is
the morning
the-
stars to be important, so that makes sense.
yeah. Alistair, I feel is the biggest. Like, I feel he is the biggest threat of the next season, but at the same time, I don't feel he'll like. I feel he'll be mostly setting things up for like his big plan and not necessarily activating his big plan next season. Because I feel like he'll essentially be doing like what he did with his chair, like all this season, basically manipulating and doing stuff in the background. I feel like he'll do that on a bigger scale, but like he won't exactly execute his plan until like next season or like at the very end of the season. It'll be like that'll be the cliffhanger where essentially like he might be where he actually fully betrays. The season might end with him fully betraying Charlie and them, and kicking off his big plan, which would be like an interesting change of cliffhanger away from Lilith.
Yeah. Like, honestly, I think that Alistair going full evil would be a much better cliffhanger than Lilith for the 17 billionth time. So I think that, yeah, like, I know that Alistair is already confirmed to be more evil this season, that Lute is going to be one of the main villains. That's really all we know. We also know that Lilith is going to be there, but we don't know what the hell Lilith is going to do. So we just know that Lute is 100% going to be one of the main villains, no matter what. We know that Alistair is going to be more evil. We don't know how he's going to be more evil. We just know he's going to be more evil. And Lilith comes into the picture somehow. So I think what's going to happen is that Lute is going to be the overarching threat of the season. Alistair is going to be close behind her, but there might be some sort of cliffhanger where Alistair does something truly sinister at the end as a cliffhanger because, you know, you can't keep milking Lute being a cliffhanger again because she's going to be important this season. And then Lilith probably just shows up to the function and says, "Hey, I exist." And then a ton of drama just comes from her doing literally nothing, and then she gets sent back to heaven or something. I don't know how Viv writes.
Lute, I mean, like there was a lot of things. The glare she gave Vaggie as Abel sent her back to heaven. The fact that she's still hallucinating Adam, like, yeah, there's a lot that's unresolved with Lute. I mean, it's possible they could mess it up again, but they clearly intend more.
She's having hallucinations and psychosis, and she was already confirmed to be one of the main villains of the next season. So my guess is that Lute is going to fully lose her. My main theory for Lute, right, is that Lute is going to fully, which I think that she already did at the end of the series, but she fully loses her mind. She truly believes that Adam is real and in the room with her. Those Adam delusions start to fully support everything that she's doing because they're her delusions. As she then decides to go down to hell by maybe tricking Emily or something like that, you know, like asking for an apology because Emily is quite naive, and then going down to hell and causing absolute havoc. And then when Seraphim eventually figures out what the hell she did, considering that, like, you know, she already was getting fed up with Lute. Even the speaker of God was getting fed up with Lute. Everyone was getting fed up with Lute. And she already disobeyed the Seraphim by asking for Lilith's help and disrespecting the Seraphim in the court, saying that Penches was demonic scum and couldn't be saved, no matter how much both Seraphim tried to warn her to stop. And remember how the last time that Emily stood up to Sarah, she said that you're going to end up like Lucifer, fallen, when she disobeyed. Lute disobeyed twice, and one of the ways was genuinely terrible by literally contacting the king of hell's wife. So she's already on the thinnest ice possible. So what I think is going to happen with it being confirmed that she's going to be one of the main villains is that she's going to do something genuinely horrific in hell. Sarah is going to figure out about it because of Charlie, and then Lute is going to be the next fallen angel and have to suffer for her crimes against hell.
Well, that's the thing is, like, I feel like you mentioned like how she'll get worse, and like I feel despite her delusions and all that, and like even her taking more independent actions, she still at the end of the day follows order. And that's the thing is, like, the only reason she was able to bully Abel so long is just because he was a pushover until like he finally stood up. So like at the end of the day, she's still listening to orders. I feel next season where it's like she's like gets to the point where she's not. And it could very well start out where like she essentially sneaks into hell and just maybe starts killing some sinners like under a false identity or something like that. And like so like she has a plan to like get her revenge on who she targets. It's like I feel she can't go directly after like anyone in the Hazbin Hotel or Lucifer. However, I feel she'll try to do something where she can indirectly lead to that, and then eventually she'll get caught and be like just fully kicked out of hell. I mean heaven.
Yeah, exactly. You know what? I couldn't agree more. That's exactly what's going to happen because she was following orders, but then she's been pushed down to the ground so much that she's going to finally snap, not follow orders, fuck up, get caught, and get sent down because she's always trying to be at least obedient. I think that she's going to finally snap and not do that anymore. Do something behind Sarah's back because, you know, she's already gone behind Sarah's back before. She literally tried to get Lilith's help without asking Sarah first. So she's already done it. So I think she's going to do that, but worse this time and get sent down when she gets caught.
This could be more wish.
Hey guys, I think I have to like actually crash out here. It's late here.
Oh.
I've got
All right.
and I have got to sleep.
All right. But before you head out, Jen, what are your thoughts? Like overall season, like was it stronger, weaker, about the same as last season?
I'm gonna say I think stronger. I think stronger because there's definitely some higher stakes in the story wise. The addition of the new characters that they've got, and of course the songs themselves. So I think everything has been ramped up in Hazbin Hotel, definitely. So yeah, I'm going to say season 2 of Hazbin, definitely stronger. It's still as entertaining. Still as entertaining. It's just like the same. I'm just gonna give that the edge because everything just feels like, I don't know about fresh and different, but yeah, everything just feels like well, you know, I'll say everything just feels more different now that it's a new season. Now it's a new season, and I can't wait to see what season 3 will bring, especially of seeing as how it ended, of how season 2 ended. So I'm like, okay, now what?
Yeah.
But anyway, I have actually got to go to sleep. I'm so sorry.
All right. Good night, Jen.
Good night,
Good night,
Jen.
y'all.
Good night, Jen.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, Jen.
All right. But yeah, I can't stay too much late myself because I have to rest up for like not next tomorrow, but like the following day. I'll work tomorrow, then the following day I have to do like a 14-hour drive. So
Understandable. I don't really think there's anything else like worth talking about for season 2. It's just
yeah, a lot of what we've been doing is speculating on season 3.
I mean, like honestly, for me, like I'm just gonna say, not a speculation, but just overall my feelings about Hazbin and my current viewpoints of Vizzy Pop. Like you mentioned, Derek, it does seem like even though her writing has gotten stronger, I've come to see the holes in her creations, and it's really hampering down on like the colorful world of characters that I grew to love over their art styles and whatnot.
Yeah, I agree.
And I'm feeling like I only have a few selective characters of the show that I would consider to be my favorites, since not every single protagonist is made equal or supporting character made equal, which like in Hazbin, Hell of a Boss, I'm more of a fan of the special guest characters / characters are not a part of like the main crowd and whatnot. Or in this case, it just feels like I'm just a fan of Husk.
Mhm.
And
I'm also a massive fan of Husk, so I agree. Yeah.
that's just it's like really odd.
Thank you.
Like it's really odd. I've seen people compare this show to not just the finale of season 2, but the actual show to a more vulgar version of My Little Pony, and it's like, I don't know about that. It's
I
like,
think
I mean, like I
Day
could
is back. Day is back. Daylover has returned.
okay,
Daylover has returned.
go for it if you
I
need to
just
say
really
something.
needed to lay down for just 2 minutes. I was just like, I'm falling out. But I think this season 3 was my favorite.
2, you mean?
Wait, are we not?
Hazbin Hotel season 2.
I'm way too tired. Sorry. And I think the animation's so much better, and I love all of the songs. I think that's a really good concept. I hope that they stick with like at least, 1 or 2 songs. That's really nice. I really enjoyed the what is that called? Two sides of Charlie. Well, I didn't like that she agreed to do something that was impossible for her to do. But I do like that she's, I guess, grown over and past stuff. She just needed a lot of try and error, I guess. I must admit, I was really surprised about the storyline with Angel. I still have ideas of how he could get out of the contract, but I don't know if that would stick any way, shape, or form. I like that Alistair was able to break all 3 contracts in one just by doing 3 simple things.
Let's go.
I really love the brighter villain song. I must be one of my me and Second have been have been singing it and putting it on the radio, and I'm just like, I think this is one of my favorite songs now, even though it's
This is one of those ones. I mean, people always debate how much just like purely the music and words versus the scene it's paired with make a villain song. This one, like, I feel like, I mean, I always cut at least some slack, but this one is especially like, no, this song would not be the same if it wasn't the scenes happening with it. Like, okay, no, like this is actually this seemingly somewhat pathetic villain's backstory, and this is how far he was willing to go, and this is why he does what he does and is driven this deep, and this is why you should actually be scared AF of him. But I don't even care. It's awesome, the cumulative effect.
But of course, also Gravity is really cool, and the scenery from that. But I was actually also all of the fight scenes that we had. The Vox and Alistair fight scene, amazing. The fight scene with Nifty and I don't remember her name. Whatever.
Other V.
Other V. Yeah. And I don't know if this one counts, but the shark and
Alistair.
Yeah.
Running from the shark.
I gotta rewatch that because there's like so much detail
Shark
that I have not
Alistair's
been aware of.
Alistair's genuinely like shit.
Yeah, it's like so scary.
Yeah, I mean, he like still acts cocky and taunts Vox over it, but like he makes it clear after a minute that like, no, this shark is genuinely difficult to get off his back.
Yeah.
Oh,
that reminds me of something. Everybody's background story, love,
I love them too.
especially Serpentius and well, I love all of them, but I think my top 3 is like Serpentius, and then Alistair's, and then Vox's.
Oh my
If
god.
I had to, if I had to rank them, it was just like I can't. I hope that we get some angels backstories too. Though that would be nice.
Oh, yeah,
And I do agree with. I hope that something is going to happen with what's her name?
Oh, Lilith.
Lilith. Yeah.
Well, we're all wondering if she's gonna let us down on the cliffhanger again. But the fact is, we end like she's on the phone with Charlie at the very end. It is very hard for there to be some kind of like, oh, wrong number, and then Lilith still doesn't speak all season. Like, no, we almost certainly are gonna get some Lilith here.
Yeah, the way that I would like it, and nobody else would like this, is actually for her to come and be nice, and then it was all just a dream, and then we snap somebody completely.
We snap somebody
I'm
like
confused.
Yeah.
about Thanos snap.
Thanos
Kind of like
Lars
thinking about
playing
like
out of
having
existence.
a double fallen angel style.
What, Lilith falls?
No. Somebody still have their wings. They're not supposed to have their wings.
Lucifer?
Yeah.
I don't know if that's exactly.
I don't know.
I
It
mean,
could be
Baggy
cool to
got her
see him
wings
like
back.
with, like black Igor spreading out or something. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
This is fanfare territory. Yeah, I definitely feel like this is my favorite season so far, even though that there was stuff with Angel that I didn't agree on with, but elsewise, not that many gripes with it. That and yeah, Charlie being a little obnoxious, but she's been that before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, honestly, after our worst or my two worst episodes, she does get better again. It's just like, yeah, some fans like think about these characters like as though they were real people. A lot of the theories, even some of ours, are like, okay, so it's since like these real people, what do they have to go from here? And I very much seeing it, just see like the episode itself playing her like, okay, yeah, let's do a tone of exaggeration and pure silliness since we have to hit these plot beats anyway. And then we're supposed to act like Charlie was, being comparatively normal the whole time, that it's just, like silliness doesn't count. But, yeah, like I think that, by episode 6, it's Charlie is just supposed to be the slightly panicky, slightly naive, do-gooder she's always been.
Yeah. I also like the more extra characters in this one. Oh, I forgot what his name is though. The little guy that's
I can't remember his name either. He has a more memorable design than name.
he's supposed to be Serpentius' friend. And dating Nifty for some odd reason.
Oh yeah, she likes him anyway.
Yeah. Oh, Baxter. Is that what you said?
Actually, I think that is it. Yeah, Baxter.
Baxter.
Oh, okay.
Oh, wait, so like
Wow.
Dexter, but in hell.
I should have
Dexter in
remembered
hell.
that. One of my series.
Yeah, now I just want him to see him get mad at Serpentius and someone be like, "You are stupid! You are stupid! And don't forget, you are stupid!"
Well, he did take notes about how to call someone stupid, so.
Yeah, geez, maybe that is the inspiration.
I think that is the inspiration.
Oy. Well, I thought of a season 2 thing to talk about though, since Gator said he was running low.
Well, I mean, running low, not like in energy, but running low in like, I don't know, like considering like this watching Busy Pop Projects, hoping to see a jump in quality. You know, it's like
Yeah, well, I mean,
Well-
they're starting from a pretty high point. Like, even if you're, well, okay, admittedly, I already said what I think about, like, This Is Mine, and I say what's wrong with it, fans. But from just about any perspective, this is some pretty above average animated content, I would have to say. But what I think we still have left to talk about, favorite songs.
Hey!
All right, but before that, though, I just want to go mention Carlos. I feel like one thing, because you mentioned you like Hell of a Boss more. I feel that partially is because I feel this is a more plot-driven series, and like Hell of a Boss is more a character-driven drama. So I feel you might just naturally be attracted more to that kind of storytelling. It's
Maybe, yeah.
There are arguments to be made that that's her real strength, more so the character drama, that Fast and Loose fits that better. But I mean, yeah, like preference also, never underestimate what a role that plays.
because like we've already brought up like how this feels like one continuous like movie, sort of like a Stranger Things on Netflix, where it's like a series, but it's more like a very extended movie. However, we would never really describe any of the Hell of a Boss seasons as like that. That's more like a TV show.
I mean, if that's the case, then that explains why I don't really particularly go out to watch movies all that much. Oh my god. That actually makes a whole lot more sense now why I'd just rather watch TV shows.
They are easier when you're married, purely because they're shorter.
Aw.
Take it from me.
Mm-mm.
Hey, anybody want to do their top 5 songs?
Oh, I have a couple. For me, it's pretty easy.
The
It's-
rest is easy, baby.
it's
All right,
stupid,
let's drop this to top 3 because I feel this will lead a long debate, and I have to go to.
Yeah. Or if
Right,
you
or
must say
gravity
more, no
disease.
more than one line about why for each one.
Hold on. Actually, I can say these really fast. So, definitely losing streak. I don't know why, but just as a singer myself, who's done performances before, and I'm really into that kind of fashion and singing, and I just really love jazz music. Losing streak is like my absolute number 1 pick. But then directly under that is Love in a Bottle, which I have listened to for hours already. I love Husk's voice. I love the atmosphere. I love this so much. The one time I literally went up to my parents and like randomly showed them the entirety of Love in a Bottle just to rant to them about how much I think it's one of the absolute most amazing music videos ever. So then after Love in a Bottle, we have Brighter, which is absolutely phenomenal. I did a cover of it on my YouTube channel because I absolutely knew that I had to do something with this song. It is incredible. Then you have Gravity, which I even sung with my singing teacher because of how amazing it is. And also, I already did Defying Gravity with my singing teacher, so And lastly, we have the thing I made the pun of, Easy, which not only is an amazing song, but also we got the lesbian representation, boys.
All right. I guess for me, I would just put in like the top 5 in no particular order. We have Gravity from episode 2. Then we get Clean It Up from episode 3. Then after that would be Love in a Bottle and Losing Streak and Brighter. Yep, that would be my top 5.
Yeah.
It's only season 2.
Oh yeah, I forgot to specify whether we're doing overall or only season 2.
I mean, because if it was
For doing
overall,
overall, I feel that's an entire like discussion
Yeah.
itself.
yeah,
Okay.
that's
Go
too
ahead,
much.
All right. Well, number 1, Gravity. I'm less sure than I was, I'll admit, after all this time, that it's second to Poison after like hearing it for a whole season. Like, Poison is to Chandelier the way that Gravity is to, I don't know, We Will Rock You. Like, Poison, I think I am going to keep it in first place, honestly. It's like a flippin' character drama. It's an opera in 3 minutes. about just everything that goes into being this person, all the highs and the lows, and what Angel holds to and hopes for to keep going every day. I mean, it is like a full course meal of a song. But yeah, Gravity is more playing the one note the whole time, but it bites down on it and like cranks it up to 11. It is just like a powerful portrait of obsession sinking into psychosis of just in the most hard rock way possible. Yeah, that, I mean, Poison deserved to be a series highlight defining song. I feel like it might have been curbed slightly to only one of the best songs for the fan base because it's not a very happy topic. But yeah, Gravity, I feel like did become exactly that, and it also deserves to. So yeah, best song of this season. Second place, Easy. Which is not, not everybody's pick that as I found out, like some people only seem to consider it good, but I mean, like, and it's another one where it's kind of in conjunction with the scene, but I mean, you know what, that's how it was meant to be consumed. And sure enough, this song was kind of like my loser baby. That, yeah, just like the sentiment here, it does something pretty powerful for me, actually, not least because Day did something similar for me shortly after I saw the episode.
Aww.
It's like, oh, one of my moments kicked low, or it's like let's not lose sight of what's really important here and what we've already won, and like, yeah, when push comes to shove, what we do for each other. And I mean, like, yeah, in kind of an intimacy way, but like, I don't know, usually when intimacy is what helps solve problems, it's in a skeevy stand-up comedian sort of like, that fixes everything sort of a way. And I mean, you know, here it's like, it's not afraid to go to where to, ironically, you'd think that acknowledging there's a wholesome side to it would be the easy thing to do. Instead, most, you know, like millennial Gen X things are sort of afraid of that. But yeah, like the fact that, you know, Vaggie is making Charlie feel better. She's telling her that, like, yeah, that she values her and she has come through so much from her. And I mean, like, yeah, and I mean, yeah, well, this is why they don't go there, because it is awkward as hell to describe it. Yeah, physically making her feel better, but I mean, in a way, like, that's love. You exchange a lot to build each other up. And I mean, it's really, really sweet. And you absolutely buy every second of every minute that it's working. And it's just so perfect. And I genuinely feel nice watching it.
Yeah.
Like, and yeah, third place, you can only kick it down so far before you have to say Brighter. And we already went with why, but I mean, yeah, just like the cuts to Vox becoming like the human Vox and the TV Vox. Like, is it because that's what he was becoming? Is it because that's what he really was underneath it all along? Just, yeah, either way, I mean, it simultaneously fits Vox so well. Like, of course, this is what he was all along, and is a terrifying and expansive revelation that, like, this is how much he cares about being admired and acclaimed and successful. And yeah, for a guy who, as DC correctly put it, oozes mid-villain vibes, mid-tier villain vibes, he is like, they didn't flake on, like, well, we know what you really want is Alistair. No, like, Vox was a full course meal of a stop along the way in the rising conflict, as it turns out, and Brighter totally exemplifies why.
Mine is almost yours on its head, or how to say that.
Mhm.
My number 1 is Brighter. My number 2 is Poison. And my number 3 is Gravity.
Poison's season 1.
Well, you said it.
Well, I mean, I
so-
compared it to, I couldn't resist a chance to praise it and to clarify that it's my best overall song, but we did say season 2.
Okay.
So Brighter, Gravity, and one more.
Okay, let me think a little bit then.
Yeah, but
And
like
let Ninja go.
I was gonna say, like, yeah, we could definitely make a video out of the top 10 Hell
Yeah.
songs.
Yeah.
Oh God. It's not even just Hazbin anymore. It's just like, yeah, it's already the end of season 2 for Hazbin. We gotta include Hell of a Boss now into these competitions now about song lyrics, and it's just gonna be an all-out war of people
I just
fighting
remembered.
against each
Oh,
other.
Day has her third place.
The angel, Serpentius and the Voice of God song.
Oh, wait, I thought he sings with Seraphim, not Voice of God Lady.
Oh, maybe.
Seraphim is
Whatever.
like second in command and
Yeah, whatever.
was
Whatever
what-
angel he flies around with.
yeah, the
Voice of God.
reprise of Sorry that
Yes,
or when I think about the
I like that.
also since we dumped on it, can we acknowledge that there's a lot that really works about the Hear My Hope song?
That was actually going to say that was going to be on my.
Yeah.
I don't have a ranking like the list of which I think is best because this series is very specifically this series has very different styles of songs. It's really hard to compare them directly. And I feel Hear Me Now is like it's probably the weakest in terms of like as a song standalone song, but as a sequence, as an animated music sequence, it is very good. I would say it's definitely on my top list just because as a sequence, it's very good. But then also my list is I would say Brighter is probably the other one that really stands out to me because I don't even know why, but like that one's like I sort of know why, but I mean like that's the one that like I really catch myself humming like just randomly throughout the day still.
Yeah. The refrain does get, as much as I said that it needs the sequence it goes with, the refrain is a pretty darn good hook.
But you could also switch it to something really, really nice, though. That's also.
Yeah, well, that's part of why it works so well, because
Yeah.
it's a dark spin on a Rise Through the Ranks song.
But
the lyrics are so close
But if you have
to like
that,
standing in the Hall of Fame.
but I must admit,
And the world's gonna
like-
know you. Just a song like that yeah, he's putting
yeah.
the horror spin on it.
But when you have a bad day at work, it's nice to like get it in your brain, in the back of your head, being like.
We cut DC off though, you were saying.
Then it gets a little bit murky from there. Because those two I feel like really stand out to me. And then there's a lot of other close ones like there's the Rosie and Alistair song. There's also the like I said, the Serpentius and Sarah song, which is like very hopeful. So like different tone. And then there's obviously Gravity, which I feel needs to be mentioned. So yeah, there's like it gets more like so. I'd say probably like in terms of top there, say Gravity, Hear My Heart, and then Brighter. Like I was like the ones that really stand out for me. And Hear My Heart mostly just as like a visual sequence because there's like it goes to different types of songs and it goes to like a very visual representation. So like I feel that one stands out in that way, but not as a song. And then Gravity sort of like the opposite, where it's like that's very much a song that is a very and then the Brighter sort of in between, or just like it just feels like a classic villain song from a Disney villain. Very catchy and just sort of like dark but like energetic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that hook at least it's like it's simple, it's memorable, it's a powerful image. It gets stuck in your head.
Yeah.
And like I mean, we're in a honestly like the songs are clearly a big part of what they wanted to do here. Like she clearly has a love of Broadway here because they're in that. A lot of them are, if not all of them, are very much in that style that you'd find there. And above average feels like the minimum of what we get with almost each one. Like you really do have to flip back through some of them to find the standouts because it's just like yeah, it's just hummable tunes every time. Like, okay, which ones were better than hummable? Like, if we ever do this full list, what is it? More Than Anything is going to be high on my list because that's the one flipping back through that I'm like, oh, actually, yeah, this was a standout the whole time. That really hits.
Actually, can
Yeah,
I
because,
change my number 3? I'm going to
yeah,
change
because,
it to Last Luck, right? Isn't that what it's called?
Last Luck.
The husk.
Oh, the
Love
yeah,
in a
the
bottle.
Love in a Bottle. He
Yeah,
calls it,
Love in a
or well,
Bottle.
his song is Love in a Bottle. The one where
No.
Angel sort of saves him is Losing Streak,
Losing
where he's
Streak,
in
yeah.
drag and
Losing
he's
Streak is my number 3 instead.
Okay.
Because I remember more of the lyrics that's said in my head. I was like, which one? Oh, I guess I have to pick this one. I remember this more.
But also going back to that is like, yeah, going to what you're saying seconds, yeah, because you're going to say now because it's hard to pick your songs together because like unlike there's definitely memorable songs in Hell of a Boss, but like Hell of a Boss isn't a musical. Hazbin Hotel has been long established like this is a musical show. Like it is a like musical like classic Disney like Renaissance musical.
Almost like Broadway brought to screen, like conceived for the screen.
So like there's like there's definitely like music is intertwined. I think isn't there sort of a mandate or requirement like every episode has at least 2 songs. So yeah, like that's why it's sort of harder if you go through, especially since some songs like are more supportive, while others are more standalone, and yeah. But I guess any other final thoughts before I head out? And
Yeah.
I'm good.
I'm good. I'm good
I
as
think
well.
you're good.
all right. Well, good night, y'all, and see you next time. Which I have no idea what it's going to be because we
I don't know how this works.
Good seeing y'all.
All right.
Yeah. He
Good
said.
to know.